Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Tough Love podcast. I am yours truly, Mario J. We have some things to talk about. I know everyone's familiar. If you're not, let me make you familiar with the situation that's going on right now. A young lady in Columbus, Ohio, Miss Bryant, her face is on the screen. As you can see, her mother, Paula Bryant, actually did a post about her daughter and says, "Fly high in heaven, baby girl. Fly high in heaven, baby girl. Rest in heaven. The police killed my daughter today in Columbus, Ohio." This is going to be a very touchy topic because it's so fresh, because everyone right now is in shock. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of things going on right now in regards to the investigation. But I wanted to talk about this topic because I believe that we're missing the mark on some things. We're missing the mark on some things. I'm seeing a lot of people talking about it. Of course, we don't have all the details. It has not been thoroughly investigated yet. However, we are going off the video footage from the officer on site in reference to his body cam. And I wanted to get into this because I'm very disappointed in a lot of the coverage that I'm seeing for this. Okay, I'm very disappointed. I got an opportunity to go around, of course, on YouTube to see different people's perspective on, what has been going on, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I ran across a gentleman by the name of Taz Exclusive, I believe his name is. I'm gonna put up his YouTube page, and I'm gonna tell you why this shocked me so much. Let me pull up his page real quick. Okay, so this is the gentleman's page. I'm gonna tell you why this was shocking to me. This is a black guy, and he calls himself Taz Exclusive, the GOAT, okay? And he says, a brother immediately clears Columbus police in shooting a 15-year-old girl, okay? And you see how many views this thing got. Let me see, 1,673 views. I'm going to explain to you why you can't be racist and try to combat racism. I'm going to say that again for the slow people in the back. Why you can't be racist and try to combat racism. Now, his whole live was about combating Brandon Tatum, who is a black conservative, who basically came out and said, to him, the police was justified in killing the young lady. However, unfortunately, it was justified. So his whole narrative was Brandon Tatum can't possibly know what he's talking about because he's married to a white woman and he's far removed from the black community and all this other stuff. And to be honest with you, I'm about to piss somebody off. I'm about to say some things right now, and I want all the smoke. I want all the smoke. I'm sitting back and I'm watching these men and women, and they're so radical in their beliefs. They're so radical with their narratives and their commentary. And it's like, when you have an opportunity to speak to the world, what are you really saying? And I really sat back and I listened to this man's commentary on why he felt that Brandon Tatum was out of pocket, why he felt that Brandon Tatum was disrespectful. And I read in the comments, like, all of these black people, they were so like, yeah, these white people this and these white people that. And here's my thought process. If you're trying to combat racism, you can't be racist. You can't be racist yourself. You understand what I'm saying? And to me, it just spewed out so much hate and racism. And I'm like, well, what is the purpose of this? When you start name calling, he was calling Brandon Tatum a coon. He was calling him an Uncle Tom. He was saying all of these things. And I was just like, first of all, does this bring justice for the young girl that died? It doesn't. It shows how we as black people can't get along. We can't have a conversation. And that's what it's about. Brandon Tatum is a conservative, and I look at him as such. Do I agree with his narrative? No. I don't agree with his narrative all the time. However, I'm going to play his breakdown on what happened and let you guys see it just in case you haven't saw it or whatever it be. I will say this so we can get this out the way. You know we got to do this. Fair use. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is my opinion and my opinion alone. So now that we got it all that, I'm not going to play Taz's, that's what they call him, Taz's video. To me personally, I really, I just felt like it promoted a lot of hate. It took it to a place where it really didn't have to go to. I don't know if that's just for views. I don't know if that's just to appease to his audience. But here's my issue when I have people that says I'm pro-black. I'm black everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, if you marry outside your race, you no longer, belong to the black community. And I just have an issue with that because I was like, I hate when people are racist trying to combat racism. It's just crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, in order for you to be black, you got to still live in the hood. In order for you to be black, you got to smoke weed. In order for you to be black, you got to have bad credit. In order for you to be black, like, I'm so tired of the narrative that you're not black enough. Oh, you got a criminal record? Okay, you can be black. You don't like no cops? Okay, you can be black. You don't believe in a family structure, right? Okay, you can be black. And so it's like, the more degrading and dysfunctional things that there are out there, that's what you need to relate to. Because God forbid if you marry outside your race and you actually say, you know what, I am still proud to be a black man or woman. It's so confusing to me when people start talking, if you marry outside your race, you no longer deserve to be black. And it's always the people that have such an issue with other people that they see that's successful. Because in all rights, Brandon Tatum, even though conservative, he's successful in his own right. He has over 1 million followers. Obviously, he's saying something people want to hear or scared to say. Now, this is not about the defense of Brandon Tatum. This is not about the downfall of Taz. This is about two men with different perspectives and how they present their narrative. And I'm going to show you why there is a reason for tough love. There is a reason to be the common denominator, especially when these type of men exist. I think it's very unfortunate that this young lady lost her life. From my understanding, she was a young lady who was wielding a knife, and the police acted on it. Now, there are multiple questions in regards to say, well, why didn't they use a taser? Why didn't they just tackle her? Don't they wear body armor? They're the police. They're supposed to protect and serve. It was a whole lot of things being said about why this and why that. But here's my thought process, ladies and gentlemen. And shout out to Ricky Manor. I caught some of his live in regards to this situation or whatever. But he proposed a good question. Where are all the parents at? Here it is, your 16-year-old, 15, 16-year-old is outside fighting, wielding a knife, getting ready to stab another female. For what? For what? Like, I'm almost under the impression that, we take the responsibility off of the parents and we put it straight on the actual the officers. And my whole thing about it is at some point in time, man, we got to make sure that we are holding ourselves accountable. And I just feel like for some reason, it's like we easily dismiss accountability when it comes to ourselves. But what I want to do is I want to play this Brandon Tatum video and I want to break down some things. So let's take this walk, y'all. Let's take this walk. Again, fair use.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen and ladies? I'm live again. I didn't want to do this because I have other things I have to do. I have to get on a flight to go to Nashville tonight. But before I get on this flight, it is invaluable that I address this situation. Here we go again. People are talking about this shooting that occurred of a 16-year-old girl. They reported 16-year-old girl in Columbus, Ohio, that got shot. I was going to wait till all the evidence came out, or the video evidence came out, because preliminarily we didn't know what happened. Obviously, they protest no matter what happened. However, the Columbus Police Department held a press conference and put it out tonight, probably about an hour or so ago. So I'm going to address this so it's out on the table. So while I'm flying to Nashville and I'm asleep and I do my thing, y'all gonna have the information that you need. So tomorrow when people wake up, they gonna know what happened. Let's go to the film. The police officers responded to and this is the press conference. This is like a video screen at the press conference. Police responded to a call where people were calling and saying people are trying to stab them. No weapons were mentioned, so they couldn't verify if there was weapons at the scene. It took them about 10 minutes to get there. They show up, and here is what happened when they show up. And you will find out very quickly, and I will explain it for you, why I believe this was justified. Roll the film. So they pull up. Everybody's standing out here. They don't know what's going on, right? These people standing around, they're standing around. Everything seems cool. But there's multiple police officers that have showed up at this scene. It's not just the cop that got out the car with the body cam.
Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be helping by providing a different perspective and a different narrative to the situation. First of all, if there is commotion at this household, where in the hell are the parents? Where in the hell are the parents? Why would the police have to be called and the parents have yet to intervene? As you can see that the police are arriving on site. The body cams are activated on the actual police holsters. So now we're at a stage where, okay, you're arriving at a household because someone has contacted and made a call to the police and said someone is trying to stab someone. I want you to keep that in mind as we go through this. Here we go.
Now they fighting. Okay. So,
ladies and gentlemen, let's just stop for a minute. Let's stop for a minute. Okay, if you got a weak stomach, you know what I'm saying, it's probably best that you just go ahead and listen to me and you don't watch this. But here's my issue. All that happened in less than 10 seconds. As you can see, there was a guy who was kicking a young girl in the head in front of the police. In front of the police. I think first of all, it's a lot of issues here, but one of the issues is that young people do not have respect for authority. They do not have respect for authority. And you know where that comes from or where it starts at the home, inside your home. I don't want to hear nothing about single moms. I don't want to hear about dusties and hobosexuals and black men that don't want to be in. I don't want to hear nothing about that crazy shit. This right here is a clear example of not respecting authority. You know, when your mother or your daddy or your grandmother or your grandfather or uncle come in the room, you're supposed to shut up and be quiet and act like everything cool. Why would this continue in front of the police officers? This situation has already been escalated. Let's go. Here we go.
If you look at that and you don't know the context or you don't see it in slow-mo, you would think, what happened? How did he end up shooting this girl? Just wait and see why he shot this big old girl that she's 16, but that girl looked like a grown woman. Why she ended up shooting him. Now, I want to say this real quick because why are people, the police have shown up and got out the car. How y'all fighting in front of the police? And you wait till you see what she did in front of the police. Roll the film. So there's a lot of screaming going on. Let's go to the slow-mo. They tried to save her. Let's go to the slow-mo cam so you can see what's going on. They slow it down. In front of the cops. This dude kicks her in the head in front of the cops.
I'm about to piss somebody off, man. Hit that like button. We got some things we got to talk about. I am so sick and tired of the narrative. Oh, well, these police. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to imagine something right now. Imagine your daughter being on the ground right now. No, fuck that. Imagine your daughter right now being laid on the ground. That's your mother, your daughter, your aunt, your cousin, your home girl, and some guy comes and kicks her in the top of her fucking head. Then you have other people around them holding knives. I want you to imagine this. Let's take the race out of it. I'm so tired of this race baiting shit. I'm so tired about hearing all lives, black lives, blue lives. I'm talking about real, genuine concern for life. I want you to look at this right now and you tell me what this picture right now showcases. It shows a young man kicking a girl in the head in front of the police. No respect. Then it also shows the female who got shot in the pink standing over her with a knife. Now, here's the thought process, ladies and gentlemen. The thought process is this. Suppose that was your daughter and you saw this video. Suppose someone sent you this, hey, it's on Facebook Live. Somebody streaming this on Instagram. Check your Twitter, girl. No respect for authority, but let's take the authority out of it. Ladies and gentlemen, someone is in duress. Mayday. I need help. Man down. SOS. I don't care if you're white, black, Hispanic, Oriental. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, someone is on the ground right now in duress and they need help. Guess who's there to help them? Because no parents was around to help them. No parents intervened. No adults felt like this was just going too far. So they left it to the police to handle the situation. Okay, let them handle the situation. Because from where I'm standing at, based on where I'm sitting, I'm seeing someone on the ground. Do it look like she's doing some she praying? She getting ready to go to church? She slipped and fell, oh my bad. Do it look like they helping her up? Do it look like this is a friendly sight? It's just a bonfire or some shit. They got their Bibles cracked open. They about to read scriptures. Do that look like I'm about to piss somebody off? This young girl is obviously in need of help. She's in need of help. This young man kicks her in the top of her head, and they have another girl in front of her in the pink, the one that gets shot with a knife. Now, can you imagine what the mother or the parents of the young girl that's on the ground is saying about that police officer? Do you think she's saying you shouldn't have shot that girl? You shouldn't have broke it up. You shouldn't have stopped it. I don't think people understand how fragile the human body is and how powerful a human leg is, especially come from a boy. This action is absolutely disgraceful. It's despicable. And anyone who stands behind this and thinks that it's justified, I don't care if you Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, Green Lives Matter, this is ridiculous. Now, when we talk about protesting, hey, I'm all about standing up for justice, standing up for right. Say her name, say his name. I'm all about that. I'm all about that. But what I'm saying is, let's look at this scenario real quick. Let's look at this scenario real quick. Because the person on the ground right now looks like they're the one who needs help. Am I wrong? Am I telling a lie? See, I ain't gonna share this. This ain't something, because I ain't talking ratchet right now. I ain't cursing nobody out right now. So y'all ain't gonna hit like and share this. I got it. I'm gonna talk to myself. That's okay. It's okay. Okay. The lady on the ground, the young lady on the ground, has already got kicked in the head, and she has two other people standing over her. No one's helping her up. Now imagine you being a police officer, or your husband or your wife being a police officer, and they have to go deal with some unruly ass teenagers because guess what? Their parents ain't nowhere around or don't feel the need to break it up. We ain't talking about white and black. We talking about right and wrong. So I hear the pro-blacks talking about Brandon Tatum's a coon, Brandon Tatum's a sellout, Brandon Tatum's an Uncle Tom. Well, my thought process is this. I'm watching a video just like you watching a video. And I'm damn sure not a coon or Uncle Tom. But I'm looking at this and it looks like whoever the hell is on the ground, they look like they need help. I don't need glasses to see it. I don't need binoculars to see this shit. I don't need goddamn the Salvation Army to come see. I don't need help seeing this. I can do it all by my damn self. Let's get into it. Come on. Let's talk about it.
Boom. Kick her right in the head. These two women are fighting. Did that girl look, she got a knife. This girl is big. She don't look like they try to make us see. They gonna show a picture, and I don't mean to say this about it. This is incredibly unfortunate. This is horrible. That this.
Shut up, Brandon. This is my show. Goddammit. This is my show, Brandon. I got this. Let Tough Love do this. I gave you an opportunity. Let me do what I got to do, Brandon. Now, ladies and gentlemen, again, very unfortunate. No one wants to be in a situation where your child is involved in anything in regards to being an aggressor or being a victim. Everyone wants to protect their child. Let me do this real quick. Shout out to everybody on Instagram, Facebook, Periscope, YouTube that's rocking with Tough Love right now. Welcome to the family. If you've already subscribed to both the primary and backup channel, thank you very much. Make sure that you run over there to YouTube. Make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications so you know when we having a tough conversation. They don't do it like I'm gonna do it. I'm about to piss somebody off. Ladies and gentlemen, I gave a lot of people an opportunity to talk about this situation. I'm disappointed and I'm disgusted. I'm disappointed and I'm disgusted. I'm seeing YouTubers going at one of you, oh yeah, you Uncle Tom and you coon and you, and I'm just like, how does this benefit the situation? You can't be racist trying to combat racism. Now, when Black Lives Matter go out to the street, which they did, and start saying, oh hell no, we want justice. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to see something real quick. I want you to see this grown ass boy standing over this one girl on the ground where he just kicked in the head. Okay. I want you to see the gray vehicle to your left where you see a female that has a black shirt on, a knife. They're going to zoom in for you so that way you can see this. They're going to zoom in. Now I want you to think about this, right? From the distance that the cop is standing, you're already at a point where you're using a lethal weapon. You already have the knife out. It ain't, oh, I'm getting ready to pull this knife out. Watch me. I already have the knife and I'm lunging towards you with the knife. You are a police officer. I don't give a fuck what color you are. Listen to me right now. Imagine your daughter standing against that car. Imagine your daughter standing against that car. Do you want the police to say, please don't stab her? Black lives matter. All lives matter. Blue lives matter. Do you want the police to start talking, or you want the police to get busy? Do you want the police to get active? I want everybody that's protesting, everybody that's outraged, everybody that's demanding justice, everybody that's looking at this situation right now. I want you to look at this situation. Imagine your punk ass standing against a vehicle and someone is getting ready to stab you and you have a police officer present. Are you going to wait until you get stabbed, or are you going to act accordingly? Somebody talk to me. I'm about to piss somebody off. You want to wait to get stabbed? Okay. I mean, I would love to be in a situation where people fight with their hands, but unfortunately, we live in a time where, hey, people feel like, hey, let me pull out a knife on you. Let me pull out a gun, because a lot of people can't fight with their hands. But my thought process is this. It's on videotape, ladies and gentlemen. It's on videotape. I don't know how much more we want. He must have been racist. Bruh, I want you guys to think about something real quick. If he was racist, everybody in this footage right now looks black to me, right? If I was racist, you know what I would have did? I would have let her stab the shit out the girl in the pink. Then I would have shot, at the girl with the knife and hit her and probably hit a couple more people, because I'm trying to take a bunch of motherfuckers with me. You understand what I'm saying? And ladies and gentlemen, let me explain something to you guys. First of all, me being a 20-year Army veteran, right? I want you to hear this, right? I've been downrange 4 times, Iraq and Afghanistan, right? We're not taught to shoot. Let me shoot you in the limb. I'm not going to aim. Can you, what moves faster, an arm, leg, or a back? Anybody? What moves faster, an arm, a leg, or your back? If you aim, 9 times out of 10, you're going to aim center mass. You're going to aim center mass. I'm sorry, that's just the way it goes. And I know everybody thinking, okay, well, shit, he's a trained professional. Let me tell you something, man. Everybody don't hit their target on the best day, but the fact of the matter is you're going to aim center mass. Can you imagine him trying to aim for her arm, missing the arm, and shoot the girl in the pink? So, because I'm hearing a lot of different rhetoric or whatever, and I don't think people either know how guns work, or people just think that they like this some type of cowboy type situation, and people can just shoot. You know what I'm saying? He says, I think your video is stuck. No, I paused it so I can talk over it, but I appreciate it, Robert. Because I want to point out this thing. I think people are under this impression that, well, he can just miraculously shoot her arm moving at the speed of light, or he can shoot her in the back. You're aiming center mass. When you have a weapon, you go to the range. They don't say, well, shoot him out on the shoulder, shoot him on the leg. No, you're aiming center mass. But I want you to think about the woman. Oh no, you good, Robert. I appreciate you pointing that out, though. Again, everybody that's coming in right now, we are talking about the young lady who died yesterday in Columbus, Ohio, Miss Bryant, and who was shot by a police officer. She was the young lady that was wielding a knife. You can see her here in the black holding a knife. They're going to zoom in so that way you guys can see it. But my thought process is this. It's unfortunate that the young lady lost her life. I don't care if she's black, white, and that's not what's important. What's important is it's unfortunate that another person had to die in order for us to have this conversation. But I want you to think and imagine the young lady that's in the pink, that's against the car, that is getting ready to get stabbed, has parents. Now, can you imagine the conversation with those parents in regards to saying, well, I don't think you should have shot that young lady, even though she was trying to stab my daughter. If that was you, you wouldn't give a damn how the police got that girl off of you. If that was your son or your daughter, you would have said, hey, do whatever you need to do. Bring my baby home alive. Protect and serve. We expect these fucking police officers to be goddamn Superman and super women. And the fact of the matter is, they're human. I can understand an honest mistake. I can understand that if it's an honest mistake. But I don't see a white guy pulling up to the scene like, I'm about to shoot one of these black people. That was not what's going on. You're saying you want justice. Well, if you're about to kill somebody right in front of the police, guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, if she would have stabbed that young lady, right? Especially if she would have hit vital organs, what would have been the next question? So here's the thing. So save one black life and kill another black person. And now we're saying we want justice. We want justice for the person that was getting ready to stab somebody else. Can somebody talk to me? Can somebody help me with the conception of this right here? We want justice for the person in the video with the knife getting ready to stab another young girl because she too scared to fight with her hands. She too scared to take her ass whooping. I know this gonna piss somebody off. You too scared to take an ass whooping, so instead you rather take a knife in front of the fucking police as if they gonna turn around and say, you know what? Hey, this is a black issue. This is a black issue. Why am I here? Because as soon as I do something, they're gonna say, oh, Black Lives Matter. Well, here's my thought process is we must be all coons. We must be all Uncle Toms, because here's my thought process. Whoever the damn girl is on the ground that's getting kicked in the head by this fucking nincompoop, right? Where's Black Lives Matter when it comes to that? Where is someone saying that is wrong? Okay, that's a reason for the police to get involved. That's one. Okay, can I break this shit down for y'all? Can I do my thing right now? The person that is against the car that's in the pink, that's getting ready to get stabbed by the female that got shot, looks like she needs someone to come in and help her. So that's two reasons why the police need to intervene. So I'm trying to figure out, when you're talking about justice, is it for the victims, for the people that were actually getting assaulted? Is that what the justice is for? Because if that's the case, sign me up. I'm on my way. I'm bringing Gatorade and snacks and shit. Let me stop by Walmart. Matter of fact, fuck it. I'm going to make some sandwiches and shit. Because if that's what we're marching for, great. We're marching for the female that was getting kicked in the goddamn head, and we're marching for the girl that was in the pink that almost got stabbed. We're marching for them, because we can't be marching for the people that were issuing the violence. I'm about to piss somebody off. Hit that like button. Stop playing with me. You tell Taz Exclusive that I'm on the case. Ham and cheese, you got it, Robert. What are the marches for? We're getting this whole shit mixed up. Now we're taking this shit too far. Here's the thing. You ever heard of somebody says, don't cry wolf? Don't cry wolf. Everything is not a reason to say we want justice, because if you're looking at Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles are sitting somewhere and say, you don't see this shit. You don't see this shit. We're not marching for the female that was getting kicked in the head. We're not doing that. Come on, black people don't give a fuck about a female getting kicked in the head. Why would they care? The girl in the goddamn against the damn car getting ready to get stabbed. We not marching for her. We not saying, hey, stop all of that nonsense, young people. Fight with your hands, take your ass whipping, and go home and put some peas and carrots on your motherfucking face. We saying, oh, that cop was racist than a motherfucker. Do I know racism exists? Yes, indeed. Indeed, that's not what this conversation is about. And we can't make every conversation about racism because it's different races. That's ridiculous. That's nonsense. And then if you say it's not about racism, guess what happens? Oh, you a coon and you a Uncle Tom. Taz Exclusive, you a punk. You're a punk, sir. Well, I'm going to talk about Brandon Tatum because he's married to a white lady. What does his wife have to do with this situation? It's weak. And you have 300 people sitting over there cheering you on. If you look at this goddamn video, it clearly showcases the police need to be involved because there's no adults involved to intervene. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is not regular behavior. I don't care if it's black, white, I don't care. We have enough stuff to worry about in regards to racism. Let's stop trying to make everything a racist situation. Everything's a racist situation. Everything's not a racist situation. There are good black people, good white people, good Oriental, good Hispanic. There are good people out there. And for you to say Brandon Tatum's a bad person because he married a white girl. He can't speak on this because he married a white girl. Bro, first of all, check this out. Anybody who says that is an extremist. You are an extremist. You are just as culpable as the KKK as to the Black Panthers. You are an extremist. We've come too far. America is a melting pot. If you guys don't believe that, I'm sorry. America is a melting pot. That means we've intermingled, we've integrated. People have built families with other races and nationalities. Can you honestly tell me as a black man, well, if I marry a white woman, then when it comes to this racial warfare, I need to hate police because black people hate police. I need to start hating black people because some white people hate white. Like, bro, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you this, okay? I'm going to say this. Robin, I'm going to get to your statement in a minute. Give me 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Love who you want to love. Love who you want to love. It's your life. You have to deal with that decision. You understand what I'm saying? If you find someone who's protective, who's providing, who's realistic, who's God-fearing, who loves you and supports you, I don't give a fuck what color they is. You're not going to get any grievances from me. And for someone to sit back and say, well, your love is false because they're not the same race you are. You are a coward and a clown to say that. You are a coward and a clown to say that. If we're going to have a disagreement, let's have a disagreement. But first, let's be willing to have the discussion. You know what I did the other day? Someone sent me a link to this guy's the Taz exclusive and the Nyla Sales and the Cynthia G. They was having this like big debate between about races and men and all this good stuff or whatever. So they did like a 3-hour debate. I watched about an hour of it or whatever. So I did catch Cynthia G. She's for those who don't know, she's a content creator, and her niche is some people say niche is talking about black men. Like black men can do no good, calling them dusties and all of these other names. Now, we know that there are a lot of men out there that also talk about black women, but this is what this is about. What this is about right now is us having a conversation in regards to saying, okay, after her debate, she went back to her channel, her YouTube channel, and basically said, do you see how black men make excuses? Now, this is after having a 3-hour debate with Taz exclusive. And I thought that, there was a lot of relevance to both parties. But this is how we backtrack on making steps and progress forward, because we're so busy trying to point out who's at fault, who's to blame, instead of sitting down and saying, we have to work together. I'm so tired of seeing black people make excuses on not achieving. And this is one of those situations why I'm having this conversation right now, because I think it's needed. The situation is simply this. When you watch Taz exclusive, when you listen, I put for those that don't know, I put his little page up so you can go listen to the actual live that he did on Brandon Tatum. It sounds so racist. You're a black man and you're attacking him because he's married to a white girl. You know what I'm saying? Calling her all types of names. It's unnecessary. And then what's sadder about it, what's even more sad, you got 330 people in your chat room cheering you on. Cheering you on. Not one time did he say, this video is sickening. This video is sickening. He was so focused on Brandon Tatum, the coon, Brandon Tatum, the Uncle Tom, Brandon Tatum, the person who married a white girl. How dare he not agree that that white man, that white police officer is racist? How dare he not agree with the status quo? How dare he say something about people protesting? Well, I'm saying something about the people protesting. What's the protest for? This is the reason why people have an issue with Black Lives Matter or people protesting and talking about racism, because the fact of the matter is now you're going to ban this cop to be racist, and he was doing his fucking job. If that was my daughter in the pink, if that was my daughter laying on the ground, someone is about to stab my goddamn kid or kick my daughter in the head, shoot that motherfucker. Hit that motherfucker with a baton, a stun gun, a trash can top. Do something, policeman, policewoman. And then I'm going to go live and say thank you for doing it. Especially after I got footage of seeing my fucking daughter roll on the ground and let some fucking football player kick her in the head. You think these people were worried about Black Lives Matter? No, they didn't give a fuck about Black Lives Matter. The video showcases that. Taz exclusive. They didn't care about Black Lives Matter. But now when the police officer shows up, well, I can't intervene because they're black and I'm white. Oh, Lord. This is the problem that we have. Where are these? Listen, it's five different people inside this little shot right here. Where are the parents at, ladies and gentlemen? Where are the parents? Let me address this real quick. This is what I'm saying, folks. I see the comment, right? It's no skin off the white police officer's back that he killed a black girl. Believe it. Okay. Okay. All right. Let me let this thing breathe real quick before I say something. Let me let it breathe. Okay. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to think about something real quick, and then I'm going to let the video play some more. All right. I understand when it comes to this racial divide, everyone has their different point of view based on the scenarios that have been presented in their lifetime. You see how I'm changing my voice? I want you guys to listen to me real quick, right? I know it's easy to call things down the middle and separate things from black and white. I know it. Trust me, right? Now, I also know that it is very easy to get caught up in a whirlwind and find yourself on a bandwagon where you don't get all the details. Okay? But for us to assume that every white police officer is racist or is in the business of saying, I'm going to shoot me a black motherfucker today, is absolutely absurd. It's absurd. Let's look at the facts. Because here's the thing. If you're teaching your children or you've come to this conclusion yourself that all people that don't look like you are bad, then guess what? We're promoting and helping to grow a narrative that has been predicated for years that everyone that don't look like you is bad. Everyone that looks like you that fits this stereotype is bad. Let's look at the facts. If we deal with the facts, then we can go from there. The fact is, there are two people inside this video right now that need fucking help. And they're all black. And I'm going to say something else that you might... I'm about to piss somebody off. I'm going to say something else you might not like. Where are all the black adults that are helping them? Where are the black adults that are running in saying, no, stop this nonsense? We shouldn't be acting like this. This is not what people do. This is not what humans do. Why is this boy kicking this girl in the head? How come Black Lives Matter don't matter right now? So as soon as the police officer sees, let's take the girl with the knife. I ain't even talking about her right now. The police officer pulls up and see this young man kicking this fucking girl in the head, and they tackle him and break his fucking collarbone. Then the next minute, in the next 6 hours, oh no, they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that. They could have asked him politely not to kick her in the head. They could have did this and they could have did that. Ladies and gentlemen, action was taken. Why did you feel the need to be kicking her in the head? How is that civilized? How is that level of aggression necessary? Who raised you? Let's get back to this.
Had to take place. People need to stop cutting up like this. He kicked her in the head in front of the police officers. This big old girl, and I'm not saying weight-wise, she's pretty tall to be a 16-year-old. She pulls out a knife in front of the cops. She pulled out a knife. Look at what she does with the knife. Look at what she does with the knife. She going for this girl's throat with the knife. She's trying to stab her in the head with this knife. An officer shot her.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would be remiss if I didn't say this. When it comes to Candace Owens and Brandon Tatum, I realize that they appeal to a conservative community. They appeal to a conservative community. This is not, see, that's what I'm saying. The same way I'm saying take color out this, I don't give a fuck what your political views are. Let's take that out as well. Let's look at what's happening. Even if you ignore what Brandon Tatum is saying right now, I want you to look at the video and come up with facts and reason for yourself. Right now, we're oh my God, he's talking, so whatever he's saying, we're going to discredit him. Listen, sometimes you can shoot the message. Sometimes you can kill the messenger, but that doesn't mean that the message ain't warranted. Forget the messenger. Look at the message. Look at the video. He's not making this up. He didn't have his people, oh, well, let's reenact this shit. No, he's not reenacting it. You can see it. He didn't put the knife in the girl's hand. He didn't tell the young boy, hey, listen, all right, listen, I know, I appeal to white people, but what I want you to do is I want you to kick this girl in the head, okay, and act like you like it. Act like you like it so we can overthrow the Black Lives Matter movement. This is what's going to help us rebuild the conservative. We're going to get Trump back in office. Come on, man. Look at the video for yourself. Forget who's talking about the video. Look at the video and tell me that you don't see two people in duress, two people that needed help, and no adults, no black adults are running to the aid. That's what I want you guys to focus on. You're talking about people and what they do for a living and what they talk about. I'm not worried about that. I'm saying that you can be a KKK member and tell me the sky is blue. Am I going to say it ain't blue because you're a KKK member? No, if it's blue, it's blue. If it's blue, it's blue. And in this case, it's fucking blue.
And you say Brandon Tatum, why did the officer shoot her? Because an officer has an obligation to preserve the life of other people, not just the police officer. So if you see a person going to kill another person, which is what she's doing with this knife, when you see a person attempting to kill another person, you have to use deadly force to save this person's life. In defense of this.
Shut up, Brandon Tatum. How dare you say that you have to use deadly force when someone else is using deadly force? How dare you say that? How dare you say that? The knife is already out, ladies and gentlemen. She's about to strike. I want everybody in the comment section to look at this motherfucking video that's frozen right now. And I want you to put yourself in the girl with the pink shoes, the girl that's up against the car getting ready to get stabbed. Do you think she's thinking about, well, I know Black Lives Matter, but do you think that she's hoping someone helps her? Do you think she's in duress? You're telling me the shit that Brandon Tatum is saying is null and void, and you can see that obviously this person with the knife who got shot is about to stab someone. If the police officer does not aim center mass, there is a possibility that he can hit the person that he is trying to save. Think. I want you guys to think about this. If I do not aim center mass, that's like saying, this is you, right? I'm about to say, this is your brain on drugs. Y'all remember those commercials? Y'all probably don't remember those commercials. But imagine you're against the car. Someone is getting ready to stab you. And you're saying, well, I need to not only save the victim, but I also need to try to save the person that's committing the damn crime or the assault. So let me shoot her in the leg. Let me shoot in the arm. Let me aim for a smaller limb instead of aiming center mass where I know that the bullet is going to hit you. I get what you're saying. Listen. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But what I'm saying is, do you not see people in duress right now? How many more kicks can this girl right now on the ground take in the head? How many more kicks? How many stabs you think the girl in the pink could have took before the police officer would have said, can y'all please stop? Come on, man. You know I'm white. Please, come on. I'll take everybody to Chuck E. Cheese if y'all stop. I'll take you to go see a Lakers game if everybody stop right now. All right, now on the count of 3, y'all about to piss me off, goddammit. I'm about to go Facebook Live on y'all ass and expose you motherfuckers. Nobody got time for that. You talking about split-second decisions. A person is about to get stabbed while you have another person getting stomped in the head, ladies and gentlemen. The question is, what would you do? What would you do?
This person wearing pink, you have to use deadly force. Okay? The officer is watching her try to stab this girl in the neck. And he shoots her, I believe 3 times to save her life. Now, the funny thing is that people are going to come out and protest this, but what about her life? She don't matter.
I want to hear somebody argue this right now. I want to hear somebody argue. What about her life? She don't matter? Now, here's the thing. I see everything that you just said about Brandon Tatum, right? And I'm not arguing that point, right? I'm not arguing that point. That's not what we're talking about. What I want to ask you something right now. What about the girl in the pink that he saved from getting stabbed? Does she not matter? Matter of fact, when he shot the gun, guess what? You see where that punk ass other boy that was kicking that girl in the head, you see where his punk ass at now? So he saved 2 people that needed help from the people that were attacking them. Can I say this again for the slow people? Let me say it. I'm about to piss somebody off. This for the slow people in the back. The police officer saved 2 people from the aggressors, from the people that were victimizing them, by firing his weapon, by aiming center mass. When bullets go into your body, no one knows what it's going to do. Some people survive. Sometimes the bullet goes straight through. You don't know. It's jeopardy. It's double jeopardy. Because you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. But in this instance right here, he saved 2 people's lives. But it was at the expense of one person who had a knife. Let me ask you a question. Can you kindly stab someone? Anybody? Can you kindly stab someone? Oh, man, let me just put a little piece of this blade in you, my homeboy. Come on, man. Black Lives Matter, bruh. Let me just stab you a little bit on your right side. You'll survive. Come on, man. Let me stab you, bro. I'm trying to get my likes up. I'm trying to start my Facebook career. She was trying to stab her. She was getting ready to stab her. And you're telling me that the police officer shouldn't have took action? Well, if I try to use this stun gun, what? You got a deadly weapon out, but I'm gonna use something less than your deadly weapon. Come on, man. Come on. God damn it. Let me let this dude talk. Jesus Christ.
He was getting ready to stab her in the neck. She didn't have a weapon. She up on the car getting ready to get stabbed by this girl. But I'm here to help you, because they gonna put out on the news that this girl was unarmed. They gonna have a picture of her when she was 3 years old and try to make her out to be this baby, which she could have been, but not today. This is crazy that a 16-year-old girl is gonna stab a girl in front of the cops, in front of the police, and they had to utilize deadly force against her. Unfortunately. And so I hope that you guys were paying attention. See, the knife is laying over here somewhere.
Next of kin has been notified. As I said earlier, the Bureau of Criminal Investigation is conducting the criminal investigation.
They're telling you that they're going to investigate this, that they're going to do their due diligence. People don't care. They don't care anyway. They just won't, or whatever. I'll make this statement and I'm done. This is a short video. It's unfortunate that this young girl lost her life, but you can't. I'm confused at what are people thinking. You got police showing up because there's a confrontation. When the police show up, how do you get into a fight in front of the cop, then pull a knife out and try to stab a girl in the head in front of the police, and then protest about it? This is troubling to me on the part of the citizens, which nobody's going to talk about, but I am. Share this video because I said it. And unfortunately, the officer, in an attempt, a white officer, mind you, he looked white, in an attempt to save a black woman's life, he had to use deadly force against another person, which ultimately eliminated her as a threat and saved the other black person's life. If he didn't care about black people, he'd have just let her jab her, jug her right there in front of him, and backed up and said, hey, drop the knife, while she's jugging the other girl, if they didn't care about black lives. However, we see the same Looney Tunes coming out and protesting. We want justice. For who? Who? The girl tried to stab the other. Y'all were there. Y'all saw it. Y'all were on the scene.
That is a great question. Who do we want justice for? Yo, hey, my man going hard in the comments right now. Let me ask you a question. Who do you think people want justice for? Who do you think people want justice for? The girl that is right now in this on this photo right now, okay? Miss Bryant. She is the one that had the knife getting ready to stab someone else and was shot and died. We want justice for her. Is that what we're saying right now? We want justice for her. You know what something Candace Owens said a long time ago? She says that black people uphold the worst of their communities. They uplift the worst of their communities. Can you imagine me doing a protest or me marching, telling police they're racist and burning shit down and going to jail and all this other shit? And when I finally get my day in court and I tell the judge, we were marching for Miss Bryant. Black Lives Matter. And they showed a video of Miss Bryant trying to stab this young female in the pink. They show her friend stomping another female in the head on the ground, and then the guy was a male stomping a female's head on the ground. Can you imagine how the jury is going to look at my pathetic ass? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Who do we want justice for? The victims that were being attacked or the people that were attacking the victims? You're going to discredit a man because he's married to a white woman. You're going to discredit a man because he's a conservative and he has different views than you. But can you discredit the video? Can you discredit the girl from getting kicked in the head? Another girl from almost being stabbed? Can you discredit the facts? You're trying to kill the messenger. You want to blow him up. You want to mute him. You want to get him the fuck up out of here. But is the message still relevant? The police officer did his job. He saved people who needed to be saved. And it's unfortunate that someone had to die for him to save other people, but the same person who died was the same person trying to do bodily harm to someone else. Stabbing someone is very personal. Stabbing someone is very violent. I never knew anyone that stabbed someone that said, well, I only stabbed him a little bit. We still cool, right? We still cool, right?
You saw the girl try to stab. Y'all see the knife. And that's why people of color, I just don't know what to say anymore. They were there. They saw the fight. They saw the girl with the knife. And they saw.
Shout out to Keys, Man Hell Nah podcast. Make sure that y'all hit them up. Keys, feel free to drop your link to when you guys go live, so that way people can know what you guys got going on. I'm curious and interested to see how you guys are going to cover this. I don't know how long you're going to be in the building, but again, shout out to Keys, Man Hell Nah podcast. If you guys are just tuning in, make sure you run over there to YouTube and hit that Tough Love YouTube link. Hit that like, share button. We are talking about Miss Bryant, who died yesterday in Columbus, Ohio, was shot by a police officer 3 times. She was a female that was wielding a knife, getting ready to stab another young lady, and a police officer, a white police officer, shot her in order to stop her. So there's a lot of protests. There are a lot of people screaming they want justice. And the question right now, the question of the hour, I would say, is you want justice for who? Who do you want justice for? What is it that you're trying to prove by saying if you encompass Miss Bryant with George Floyd, the argument is going to be null and void. If you do that, the argument is going to be null and void. George Floyd was not wielding a knife. George Floyd was not getting ready to stab anyone. No one had a knee on Miss Bryant's neck until she went unconscious and died. I'm just saying. You cannot put them in the same perspective. Therefore, when you're marching and you're talking about Black Lives Matter, cool. Let Black Lives Matter to the people that are victimizing other Black people. If you've never been in a situation when you were standing in front of someone and they wanted to do you bodily harm, and for some reason you wasn't man or woman enough to defend yourself, and you called for help, there were bystanders standing around and they said, let me intervene. And their manner of intervening is shooting the person that's getting ready to do you harm. Forget harm. They ain't smacking you and spitting on you. They're not cursing you out. They're stabbing you. They're kicking you in your head. And someone, of course, Texas is open carry. And someone says, hey, Fuck this. Let me intervene. And someone happens to die, unfortunately. A lot of you guys are coming from a standpoint and a viewpoint where you want to promote racism by any means necessary. And even if people make common sense, you don't want to call it common sense. You want to call it fuckery and shenanigans. I don't give a fuck if Brandon Tatum was gay, goddammit, and was found stealing from the bank. Like, I don't really care. My thought process is what he explaining about this video, do I see that myself? I'm not letting you paint the picture for me. I want to see it myself. And that's what it's about. Me seeing it myself. And when I see it myself, I'm going to create my own truth with the facts. The fact of the matter is, I don't believe that this police pulled up to the scene and said, look at all these black people. I'm about to shoot one of these motherfuckers. Somebody gonna die today. We can't make everybody racist. We can't say it's a victorious thing to say, look at what we're doing. We're fighting back. No, you can't put everyone in the same narrative because it makes what you're trying to fight for, trying to prove, trying to protest, trying to rally behind, null and void. It makes it fake. It makes it disingenuous. Everybody can't be racist because we need to make them racist in order to build or empower something. Ladies and gentlemen, it was all black people fighting in the fucking video. And there were no black adults to say, stop this bullshit. And it took someone calling the police to stop it. Think about it.
The girl gets shot and the knife is there, but they still turn around and go out and protest for justice. And they saw it. They know what happened. People are out here saying that they executed the girl. Y'all know what happened. And you still out there protesting. Still. And you wonder why I do what I say. I was hoping that this cop, I'm not hoping, I wish he wasn't, but I would rather for this cop, a girl in a driveway and they just shoot her for no reason. I'd rather to see that happen than to see this happen and people still protesting and still making a fuss about it. Why can't people be accountable? If you know y'all did this in the front yard, and you know the girl tried to stab the other girl, the girl in the pink knows she was getting stabbed.
Shut up, Brandon. Let me talk, goddammit. This is my show, goddammit. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. I want y'all to look at this narrative right here when someone asks about black on black crime. Ladies and gentlemen, you can call this shit whatever you want to call it. Dark on dark, black on black, fucking African on African, whatever you want to call it. There's some fuck shit going on right now in this video, ladies and gentlemen. You can, I'm going to put the blanks. There is some blank going on in this goddamn video. You can feel the narrative, whatever you want to fill it with. The issue is that black people never call other black people when they're doing fuckery that affects the community. They never call them out. And God forbid if someone calls them out that don't live in the community no more. What you mean you moved away from crime? You moved away from drug addiction. You moved away from goddamn criminal activity. What you mean you moved away from low-income housing, bad credit scores, and motherfucking people who can't communicate? What do you mean you moved from that and try to get a better life? Who you think you are, Brandon Tatum? What you mean you married a white woman and got a family with her and raising kids? What the fuck? Who are you, you goddamn coon? How dare you look at this video and say, oh, well, something wrong with that. It's something wrong with this young boy kicking this girl in the head. How dare you say that the girl that died, it was a justified shooting because she was getting ready to stab someone and the police aimed center mass and say, hey, let me save these victims. How dare you say, why are you marching, screaming Black Lives Matter and protesting when you didn't say, well, these people were victimizing other black people and they was black? How I'm about to piss somebody off. How dare you do that? Brandon Tatum, let's talk about all the other shit that you said. Bro, I don't give a fuck about all the other shit you said. I don't care. That's not what this conversation about, but that's what we do. We can't sit down and have a conversation because the first thing we do is let's point out all the other shit. No, let's sit down and talk about the facts of this case, this scenario, this video. I don't give a fuck if he was married to somebody that was purple, goddammit. Well, he baits, he gaslights white people. I don't give a fuck about him gaslighting white people. Is what he's saying about this video true? I only see black people in this video. I only see black people in duress. I only see black people being the agitators. And if we don't address that as a community, if we don't say this shit is wrong, this shit is foul, and guess what? The justice that we need, where the fuck are the parents? That's who we need to be goddamn saying we want justice. Or there will be no peace. We want to hold their ass responsible. Why are your kids out here acting a goddamn monkey? Not one conversation about where the parents at. But we're gonna hold a police officer who's doing his job responsible and say he must be racist. He should have used a taser. He should have tackled her. He should have. God damn it! I want you to put yourself in that pink girl by the car that's getting ready to get stabbed. Put yourself in her shoes, and I want you then to have that same energy and saying that he should have did something else to save the victimizer and not the victim. Somebody break into your home, getting ready to stab you. Somebody snatch your purse or whatever the case may be. And then you're in a situation where someone's getting ready to stab you. You want someone to hesitate. Well, I have all of these. Oh, maybe I should just run up on them real quick and handcuff them. Maybe I should trip them. Maybe I should put them in a leg lock. Maybe I should just scream real loud. Or maybe I should think that, hey, they're using lethal force. Maybe I need to use lethal force because guess what? Obviously, they don't give a fuck about taking a life. Y'all confused about what's important and what's not, man. Everybody's life has merit. And this young lady who died, she felt that girl against the car did not have any merit. She didn't want to talk it out. She didn't want to hug it out. She didn't want to fight it out. She wanted to hurt her permanently. The fuck?
Then why don't y'all just pipe down and say, look, man, this was a family matter. This was an unfortunate situation. My daughter lost it. She lost her mind. She tried to stab the girl. It was wrong. The police officer had to defend it. Or just shut up. But this is what you're going to know. This was just released tonight. Wait till in the morning. Wait till in the morning. This little girl is going to be a picture of her in middle school, or she probably in middle school. No, she in high school at 16. Picture her in middle school at prom. They're gonna make her out to be that she was an honor roll student, valedictorian, and that she didn't do nothing. And just because she had a knife don't mean, because they ain't gonna say that she tried to stab this girl. They're not gonna say that. I can't wait to read the headlines. They're gonna act like this girl just had a knife in her hand and the cop could have used a taser. She was actively stabbing this girl when they shot her. This dude kicked her in the head. He could have killed her, kicking her in the head with a shoe. I mean, let's play this scenario real quick. I know this is supposed to be a short video. Just say the cops didn't show up. What would we have seen out here, ladies and gentlemen, if the cops didn't show up?
That's another good question. There's a lot of smoke in the goddamn chat room. If the cops did not show up, the young girl that was on the ground would have continued to get kicked in the head, and the young girl in the pink that was against the car that was getting ready to get stabbed would have got stabbed, possibly several times. Possibly several times. I want to let that shit resonate real quick. Let that shit breathe real quick. You're on the ground getting kicked in the head. You're on the ground getting kicked in the head. You're back against a car trying to block someone from stabbing you. Wow. Let's go.
Which sometimes I'm like, why do they show up anyway? If they didn't show up, he's stomping this girl out, probably give her a brain bleed. She's stabbing this girl to death. And who knows who else going to retaliate around here somewhere. Somebody else could be coming with a gun or something. Y'all out here thugging, and you need the white man to come save you. I hope there was a black officer on the scene, because then it makes it look even worse that white people got to continue to go and try to save y'all from this foolery. This stuff got to stop, man. This got to stop. This doesn't have nothing to do with white.
Okay, and this is where me and Brandon Tatum go our separate ways. I was with him before this, and this is where, if he would have said, police got to come and save y'all and get y'all out of this nonsense, I'd have been all for it. But just to single out and say white people, I'm not with all that. You know what I'm saying? But I understand why he's doing that based on his views and what he feels is important. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it has nothing to do. His views have nothing to do with his wife, which brings me back to the beginning in reference to talk about this Taz guy. I just felt like, one, I said, you can't be racist trying to combat racism. And for that many people to be sitting around listening to you talk about Brandon Tatum and his wife and how he shouldn't be able to talk about the black community and all this other crap is a bunch of BS. You can't be racist trying to combat racism. And what I didn't hear from you is how wrong this person trying to stab another person is. The person on the ground kicking this girl in the head, how wrong this is and how this happens in our communities often. We're not addressing the behavior. We're addressing people talking about the behavior. I'm about to piss somebody off. No accountability. No accountability. I don't care if you sell drugs in my neighborhood. No accountability. I don't care if you raping little girls in our neighborhood. No accountability. I don't care if you're a pedophile in our neighborhood. No accountability. I don't care if you goddamn it, if you beating women up, running around, womanizing people. I don't care. No accountability. We see shit on a daily basis and we turn a blind eye and we jump on here and say, well, you bet not talk about it. How dare you talk about it, Brandon Tatum, and make money from pointing it out? How dare you do that, Candace Owens? Well, my thought process is if they talk about it and you're mad because they're talking about it, you should be the solution, right? You should be fixing it, because if they're pointing it out, they're showing you and telling you what is wrong. So the way you combat that, do you talk about their family? Do you talk about their family, or do you talk about how you're fixing the black community, how you're bettering the black community, how you're in the community, not just from the community? Because I'm hearing, oh yeah, I'm from that community. I know all about. Okay, great. What are you doing for the community to fix it? Because you're naive, you're bamboozling yourself if you believe that other people are not going to point out certain things. Let's finish.
People, this has nothing to do with white supremacy.
Fair use.
This have nothing to do with none of that. This stuff needs to stop. This stuff goes on all the time. Police or no police. Why are we doing this stuff in violent manners? And the cop had to show up and shoot this girl, or she would have been stabbed to death. Y'all started this. Y'all the one can't take care of business. Y'all the ones stomping people in the front yard. This is a part of black culture that nobody want to talk about. This girl, the cop should have never been on this street. I hate that. I'm always got to be the bad guy. The cops should have never been on the street. They should have never been here. They should have never been on the street. They should be over somewhere on 55th dealing with somebody else. They shouldn't even be called here. But y'all can't act right. You can't do right. Y'all out here stabbing each other. The cops should have never showed up because let them just do it. Because now they want the cop fired. Let them do it. Don't let them do it. Then who they gonna be arguing with now? Let them do it. You can't blame the cops because you dang sure ain't finna get no justice out here. Ain't no cops here. You ain't get no justice. Nobody's telling on nobody. She dead. She done got stabbed to death. They gonna drop her off at the hospital and ain't nobody say nothing. Justice, you ain't finna get nothing out here. Nothing. You ain't gonna get no, and if you her in the pink and you dead, you're not gonna get a protest. You're not gonna get a t-shirt. You're not gonna get a funeral session. You're not gonna get a GoFundMe. Crump ain't gonna show up. Al Sharpton ain't gonna show up. Nobody gonna show up. Her with the brain bleed, cause he didn't kick her in the head and she all over here. You ain't finna get no shirt. You're not gonna get no, Joe Biden ain't gonna call your family. You're not finna get no GoFundMe. You just dead. And you dead. And somebody lost their daughter, mother, sister, whatever. And also down here, she's retarded now because she done got knocked in the head, kicked like a football. No justice. And they ain't gonna protest. They're not gonna be in front of the courthouse. They're not gonna show up at this house. They ain't finna do nothing. I'm telling you. She's lucky she got shot by the police. Because if she got shot by one of these people out here, no justice, no peace. She gets shot by this white man, your family finna get a check. And you was trying to stab this girl to death and your family finna get a check. This is the new insurance policy in the black community. If you ain't got nothing to lose, then lose it all with a cop. Lose your life with a cop. Because if you lose it out here, it don't mean nothing. You lose it with a cop, you get 27 million, and then you get another 15 million on GoFundMe, and Black Lives Matter, they ain't gonna pay you nothing, but you're gonna get all of this money, and y'all whole family set for life. You're gonna move out the hood and go live with the white people after they give y'all that settlement money. Let's see where George Floyd's family live at after that settlement money come in. They ain't gonna live in the same place they probably live in now unless they already got money. Knife. Stabbing this person, officer, protecting her life, used deadly force. Unfortunately, the girl was rushed to the hospital. She didn't make it. I'm done. That's all I need to say. Y'all understand this. Sick of this stuff. They out here protesting. They know this is what really happened. I'm glad the police officer showed that film because now y'all have an opportunity to know what the deal is.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am not saying that there is no need for us to have a closer look when it comes to situations that there is not a reason to be alarmed when you hear that someone that looks like you have been shot. I'm saying don't fly off the deep end. Don't jump off the mountain until you know the facts. Don't just join the bandwagon just because. And that's what I'm seeing, not only content creators doing, I know all the facts. And especially if it's somebody like Brandon Tatum and Candace Owens talk about it, I'm just going to ignore them. Like my whole thing about it is listen, get all sides and then formulate for yourself what is right. Formulate for yourself what is right. And I think that's the problem. We only get news from one source and we swear to God, it has to be the actual factual. Well, some people are extremists and they're only going to tell you things that they know is going to add fuel to the fire. There is a racial fire burning bright and scorching earth. And if you do not want to get caught up in the whirlwind and the hellfire of that, Ladies and gentlemen, some fights, it's best you just say, you know what, hey, this ain't what that is. This ain't what that is. If that young lady was just fighting, if they were just fighting back and forth on that vehicle, and the police pulled out a gun and shot her, oh, hell yeah. But that's not the case. That's not the case. I totally agree with you, Kimberly. One-sided conversations. People love them. They love them. Do you do anything to promote racism? Yes. Let's call a bunch of people coons. Let's say they Uncle Toms. Let's just do whatever we need to do to just push our narrative. We ain't talking about the media, you jackasses. We're talking about us. We can see it clearly. The great thing about social media these days is even if the news reports something, 9 times out of 10, somebody has the whole video on social media. So you've already seen the entire video. You identifying people you know in the video and shit, sending shots out, tagging people you know. You watching it in the barbershop, in the beauty salon, in Walmart. Come on now. Stop getting caught up because someone says, well, another black person dead. Okay, why are they dead? Why are they dead? Not another black person. Why are they dead? Were they doing something stupid? Were they doing something idiotic? Or was it really racism? That's the question. And anyone with common sense, anyone that has a sense of dignity and respect for themselves, anyone that considers themselves to be a productive citizen, an entrepreneur, someone is about that life, chasing that bag. You know that you're not about to risk it all just to jump on a bandwagon where people ain't saying, well, what's the end state? Where are we going? I'm not just about to ride with you. Where are we going? Where are you trying to drive this train to? What do you mean you want to kill all white people on the way? Wait, hold on. I got some white shit. My cousin is married to a white girl. We gonna play bingo tomorrow night. Ladies and gentlemen, be mindful of the people that you are dealing with because sometimes people know that you don't think through things. People know that you don't ask questions. People know that you hot-headed. People know that you're ready to ride and die. And then when you sit down and say, well, why did this person die? Why did this person get shot? Why did this person get stabbed? Why was this person in court? Why did this person go to jail? Because this person was so idiotic, they didn't sit down and say, damn, I didn't know that. I didn't know that happened. I didn't know that person said that. I didn't know they had that weapon. And you're knee deep in the middle of some bullshit because you didn't take the time to learn the motherfucking facts. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tough Love. I am Mario J. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all adult up. Peace.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So, what'll I make you? Good?